Good morning and welcome to Redundancy Vlog day number 98. And it's a big day today. We've got the filming to do for the Hotel Room Reviews channel. That will be fun. We've also got the two interviews to do this afternoon, which I'm starting to I don't know. I think the best way to put it is in a question. That is, I don't know how I feel. That's not a question either. I think that shows what sort of a mix-up I'm in today. I don't know how I feel about the two jobs. These are both jobs that I didn't apply for, by the way. These are jobs that I got contacted by an agency who says I'd be a great fit and can they put me forward. They did, and the company and I want to speak to me. But I'm curious because one of them is talking about wanting to know my technical background. Now, I'm assuming they mean by that, what have I done? And I can talk about the processes I've done, or I can talk about the technologies. But I can't actually build the technologies because I'm not an engineer. And that's a little bit of what I'm worried about. Because I've seen a lot of job adverts where they're asking for a project manager, and then as part of the description it says you will be part of the team member and you will be configuring this, configuring that, and you will be providing the solution for this. Well, a project manager doesn't provide the solution. He actually works with the engineering team or the resources needed to get the solution, understands it, and then presents that back to senior management for buy-in. So I'm a bit undecided about that. And the second job, again, it's I don't know. I'm just unsure. I think that's the main thing. So all I can do is take the interviews as experience. I can go through them and see what happens. But I'm so undecided as to whether I want those jobs or even a project manager job, if I want to do something totally different. I was talking to a colleague who left at the same time as me, and he's moving into something totally different. So I don't know. It's left me really in a quandary this morning, and I had to admit yesterday, I didn't do a vlog yesterday, but I spent a lot of time yesterday sort of thinking about things and etc. So the plan today then is to do that, but also I've done a little bit of research yesterday about the companies and written down some questions as to what I'm going to say on the phone to these people. But I think I'm going to go through that now as well today. Go through that. Just make sure I'm happy with what I've got to ask and make sure I understand everything. So just a bit of prep work, which I suppose really you should be doing. So that's it for now. I'm afraid it's a bit confused, rambling vlog today. Certainly this morning, because let's say I'm not as buoyant as I was on Friday when I actually got there, Thursday and Friday when I got the offers through to do this interview. I'm not as buoyant as I was then. I'm now a little bit more hesitant and wondering. So I suppose all we can do is see how these things happen. And I wish I was watching the vlog, because then it would be, when I cut off this camera, it'll be so many hours down the day, or maybe even after the after the interview's taken place. So it will be all over, because I'm pretty fed up about the fact it's so late in the afternoon. Anyway, sorry, I'm rambling, just totally rambling today. See how we go on. Right, a quick update. It's now late in the afternoon and I have done the hotel room review filming. That was really good fun. I enjoyed that. That was sort of acting as a presenter, and that was good. That was really good. I enjoyed that. It was good playing about, and it's sort of playing at it, and it was fun. The other thing I've got to do now is going to do some parts of that video as a voiceover. So tomorrow I'll probably I'll write tonight the voiceover and record it tomorrow, and then put that video together, and then once it's up, I'll put a description and people can have a look at it and have a laugh at me trying to be a presenter. Okay, that was the fun part of the day. The not so fun part of the day were the 2 interviews that I've just had. The first interview was really good. It was with the program manager who you'd be working to. The guy was really knowledgeable. He was a real true program manager. Yeah, it was really nice when you talk to people that know what they're talking about, know what they're doing. Really decent bloke, and I think it would have been a really nice place to work for. I'm saying that in the past tense because I have a feeling that he said a couple of words right at the end which I thought, and that was that he said, yeah, I've got a few interviews still to do. He says after it was advertised externally, we had 2 or 3 people come forward internally who said they were interested in the job, and so he was going to interview them over the next few days. And I just thought, yeah, people who are internal, obviously they're known a lot more, and you know, maybe. Yeah, I think obviously internally people are more likely to get it. So it's a shame anyway. The second interview I did, which was pretty much straight after, again, it was a lovely lady to speak to. She was very interesting about all the job, made it sound very good. The only problem was I am an infrastructure project manager, and it says that splattered all across my CV. And one of the first things she said is, we're not looking for an infrastructure project manager. And I'm thinking, okay. And she says, we're looking for a SAP project manager, an SAP project manager, of which I've got absolutely no experience of. Never done SAP. So she says, would you be comfortable with it? And I said, well, you know, honestly, I would do the job. You know, you give me a chance, I'll get up to speed and do SAP. But just don't expect me to come in and be totally sort of day one in there and experienced and ready to go. I says I'm an infrastructure project manager, and that's what my role is all about. Anyway, she sort of said, well, we don't want an infrastructure project manager. And I said, well, it's on my CV. And she said, well, we were interested in the fact you've done business change. Anyway, I was a little confused, but still, it was nice to do the interview, get some experience and talk, but I think that one's a no as well. So I'm not holding much hopes for those 2. Oh, I think I'm going to go buy a ladder and become a window cleaner. No, I don't like heights. I think I'm going to be a window cleaner for bungalows only. Unless you've got to use step ladders, and I'm not sure I'd like that height either. Anyway, updates later. Very brief update, bit of a disaster. I actually forgot it's bingo night, so I've just been reminded. So after doing the interviews, I sort of chilled out, did a few things I had to do, had a look through more jobs, see if there was anything. And then I got reminded by my PA, or in other words the wife, who then says, are you ready for bingo? And I thought, oh no. And so I got there, well, you're going in 20 minutes, so be ready. So here I am, getting ready, really fast. And yeah, no, I don't like it. I like to support the bingo. I love the bingo. I support the club. I love the club, the football club and everything. I want to support it. It's just after all the stuff today, because it's been one mad rush from, or it feels like it, from start to finish today. And now it's going out again, which I didn't want it, to be honest. But I'll still go. I won't cry off and everything. I'll still go because we also pick up an old lady on the way, take her there because she used to drive but she doesn't anymore, so we said we'd pick her up rather than struggling to get there. So obviously don't let that person down either. So there you go, we're going for it. And you never know, we might win. Right, updates later. Okay, I'm not sure where to start now. But I had, as I said earlier, about a second ago, according to if you're watching this vlog, that it's bingo. And I was getting ready for bingo when I got a phone call. from the agency, from the first interview I had. Now, I don't want to sort of do this and play it up too much, but basically what he said was that it had feedback from the interviewer, as I'm the interviewee, the interviewer, and they were happy with what I'd said and what I'd done, and he was going to talk in a meeting tomorrow with a view to getting me put forward to a second interview, which would be a presentation. So that was really good news. It really did sound good news. So what they was going to do was wait till tomorrow night, and then he said hopefully I'll get back to you, but he does say that he wants you back for a second interview. So that is really positive, particularly since it's the same job that I said he's got internal candidates for, and he was going to interview those over the next few days, and I guess that'd be the last I heard of it. So that's good news. So I think I'm going to sign off today with the fact that I've done the filming that I wanted to do. I haven't managed to do any writing of the voiceovers yet because I've just got back from bingo, but it's really good news on the job front. And maybe, as we stand at day 98, I may not make day 100. Let's see. Actually, I probably will when you think about it, because the second interview will probably take a few days to organise, to be fair. So I'll probably will hit day 100. But at least by day 98, things are looking very positive. Oh, on the other side, I also got a phone call from an agency. Literally, well, in fact, it came through at the same time I was talking to this bloke, to the that agency. So I had to ring the back because I got a message saying please ring us back. So I rang back, and apparently one of the jobs in York I was applying for, the one which was an international project manager, has also come back and said that they're interested in me and would like me to possibly do an interview there as well. Anyway, obviously he was going back to get these sort of interview dates lined up, but to be fair, if it came down to this one that I got a job for today, then that's the dog wanting to go out. Just 1 minute, buddy. If it's between the two jobs, I think I'd take the one that I had the interview for today, because the guy did sound like a really decent guy, knew what he was talking about, sounded like a real professional and somebody that I'd quite enjoy working with, hopefully. But let's see what happens. But let's be honest, day 98 and things are the most positive they've been, and especially after this morning when I was in really a bit of a quandary as to what I was doing. Anyway, I don't want to ramble on again like I did this morning, so I'm going to call it a day there. Been a brilliant day, I think, in the end, and let's see what it's going to be like tomorrow. So please join me again. Let's see how this saga continues. Thanks for watching anyway. Good night.